rescue op. Save the dinosaurs from an island that's about to explode. What could go wrong?
Welcome to Fallen Kingdom, where we return to Jurassic World 1 minute at a time. I'm Brad.
And I'm Dave.
And on this episode we're discussing minute 61 of Fallen Kingdom. Before we get to that, David, heading over to Jurassic-Pedia.com, we have another article up here by Triceratops TJ, continuing our little series here on the animatronics from Jurassic Park. The Triceratops. The lovely big animatronic itself.
When we were handing out the various who's going to do which articles, Tyrannosaur TJ snapped this one up right away, calling dibs on it. It goes through the design and the full-size construction, all that. And this was one of those. This was actually the only animatronic they brought to Kauai. The other ones stayed on stages, like the Brachiosaurus that stayed on stage.
Yeah, which is insane to think about. But then, I suppose most of the big set pieces in the film, where they use the animatronics and have the CG effects as well, it just goes to the mastermind of Spielberg being able to line all that sort of stuff up so they weren't doing all this stuff on location, or more so being able to mirror the location shots in a studio to make it look like you were still on Nublar. And you just imagine the logistics, like the size of this animatronic.
Oh, I know.
Packing it up and sending it over there.
The T-Rex animatronics each weighed the actual weight of an actual T-Rex. But yeah, this one goes into even like the effects that they went through with like the fake pus that pops out of the sore on the Triceratops tongue.
Yeah. Yeah, well, here, good little article bit here too. The legs being removed for transport so it can fit into a shipping container. And it taken a month to get there, then they have to reassemble the legs and put it all back together and make it get rid of the seams. Stan Winston at his finest. R.I.P. But for that article and many more on the animatronics of Jurassic Park, head over to Jurassic-Pedia.com.
You gotta be kidding me.
She's tracked.
Dave, ready to get into minute 61 of Fallen Kingdom?
Yeah.
Alright, minute 61 of Fallen Kingdom opens with the Rex eyes twitching and ends with Claire holding up a blood-filled bag for Owen to see. As the doors of the containers boom shut, Owen's still crouching by the animal's big head, and as we see her eye begin to twitch, then flutter, and then it completely opens and looks straight at Owen. It'd be like anyone that does, I'll say dogs, I'm sure cats do it the same. If you're near them when they're sleeping and you get that eye open up, and all of a sudden, if they didn't know you're there, that eye's wide awake and then they're licking your face. Well, Rex isn't going to lick Owen's face, but it sees him there. And Owen's in trouble. She lifts her head and roars, swings her big head back and forth, and unfortunately, clearly shows that this is probably, as much as it's good having the animatronic here, it's very limited motion that this animatronic can do, sticking out from underneath this tarp of just basically swinging the head back and forth, and not being able to grab at Owen. But then I suppose at least they do mirror up when we do get the CG version of it. It can't move any better than what the animatronic does.
Well, I mean, like you said, there's limited amount of room here in the first place, so any kind of movement they can get out of here and any reaction they can get off of the actors is good.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's probably just fortunate it's not restrained as heavily as it was in the Lost World. There's no head restraint, no neck restraint. I'd assume its little arms are just sitting there dangling underneath it, not restrained or not handcuffed. Oh, I'd love to see a set of T-Rex handcuffs. Not that they'd achieve much. Claire's still on the animal's back and jumps up through the barred roof of the container and calls down to Owen that they can fit between the bars. Again, better here for the bigger animals. The space, being able to have air circulating the containers and that. Obviously, you're not putting compies or smaller animals in these in these containers, otherwise they'd be able to get out pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
But the Rex breaks free with a leg and of its restraint and stops or prevents Owen from being able to climb up. And that's when we cut to the top of the container as Claire starts running down its length, drops to the ground behind the truck, and then opens the rear doors, giving Owen a escape route. And
Yep.
now inside the container, we cut to the CG Rex as she roars again and tries to break out of the container. Owen holds his hands over his ears as the Rex roars too, right in his face. That's got to be loud. Having the Tyrannosaur bellow on that close, and in an enclosed space too.
Mm-hmm. It's bouncing off of the walls in there.
Yeah, yep. But we do get a good little effect here too of the Tyrannosaur's leg or one of its toe claws dragging along the container wall, denting it outwards. Again, just another 5 or 10 minutes and this container won't be able to hold this animal anymore if the if the tranks didn't kick back in.
Mm-hmm.
But Owen sees his chance and dives forward, barrel rolling past her snapping jaws and slides out of the container as Claire closes the doors. Bit of aerobics there from Owen, doing his little tuck and roll out of the container. But the two of them take a moment as the Rex seems to just lay back down and go to sleep as the tranks kick back in. Both sort of stunned that they were able to get out of the cage, because as the minute ends, Owen asks Claire, "Please tell me you got the blood," and Claire holds up the bag for him to see it. So both grateful. They got what they needed. They weren't food. Yes, Owen's got a bit of ear booger on him from the effort, but basically mission accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
In novel comparisons briefly, the Rex pinned down to a slab with thick bars, so she's got limited movement, but it's still inside a container. No explanation why it suddenly wakes up and then seemingly goes back to sleep in the novel either, but as you said, rush of adrenaline as it's woken up and roared and tried to escape. It's probably pumped a bit more of that tranquilizer around and put itself back to sleep again.
Mm-hmm.
But Dave, that's it for minute 61. How about we get out of it for the week?
Sounds good.